I was getting set up. I had to invite also Mike to the call. Alright. Full screen. Oh no, that's not good. Alright. We're gonna have to deal with the little, we're gonna have to deal with seeing my icons at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully that won't upset anyone too badly. You see this shit?
Which shit?
The part where I can just like fly around the screen all the time.
No, I am not looking at that shit. Now I'm looking at this shit. Yeah.
Good shit.
So, you know, I finished, I finished Metal Gear Solid 5.
After how long?
It's been 81 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Which is the most time I've put into a video game, possibly ever. Unless you, like, not ever, but like, in one game, in one, not sitting, but like in one sort of time frame.
In one kind of run.
Yeah. I probably put a fair amount of time into Final Fantasy like 4 back in the day. I put about 60 hours into Final Fantasy X, which was a mistake.
That's a lot of hours for you, for a game that you didn't like.
I liked it for a little while, and then I didn't like it. That was the last Final Fantasy. That was where I got off the Final Fantasy bus. It was Final Fantasy X. Like, I was like, okay, I'm doing this. It's the thing I do. And then finally I was just like, this is super fucking dumb. Like, yeah, I was probably 50 or 60 hours in. I think I put about 45 hours into Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Well, yeah, but that's a shooter. That's a game that you enjoy.
Right. Well, it's an RPG. It's a shooter RPG. It's a shooter with RPG elements.
It's a Sharp-PG.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Do you know how to turn off the little thing that keeps popping up your face in the corner as you're talking to me in Skype? Oh, there's a little X up there.
I think.
See that?
Yeah.
See the X. There you go. Okay, we're good. So, is the stream running?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Do you know if anyone's actually watching it?
Looks like someone is. I put them on YouTube now, though, so people watch them
okay.
on YouTube, even if they don't watch them here.
Do you pick a starting point? Should we do a little intro?
No, but I just... they export right from Twitch.
Peer behind the curtains, folk. These decisions are made in real time for you.
They export straight from Twitch, so I don't really have the option to edit them. Twitch just dumps it onto YouTube.
Well, then there you go. You're watching On the Stick After Dark. And tonight I am playing the Plague of Shadows expansion for Shovel Knight, featuring the lovable Plague Doctor, Plague Knight dude, who has now become a playable character, and who is fucking radical. He is a totally sweet and interesting character to play as, and I really get strong Bionic Commando vibes from the way he plays. Not that the mechanics are similar, but in that there's a whole lot of depth to them, and there's it's really hard to master all the different possibilities he has for movement, but they're really interesting to explore. Yes, I think that this guy is going to open up some really cool things you can do with this game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some awesome speed runs done with this guy in a few months once people have mastered him to a crazy degree.
Yeah, I haven't actually had the chance to check out any of that DLC because I have been just so on my shit with Metal Gear. Like, I haven't been playing anything, and in fact, I really should have been spending more time on I kind of put myself in a position where I'm crunching on the new Same Name Different Game to get it out by the end of the month because I was playing so much Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right.
And Metal Gear Solid 5 has its problems, but I haven't. But I still really liked it, and I had that, and therefore, even though I got the Kickstarter email being like, you can get the Plague of Shadows or whatever it's called DLC now. Which I don't remember if I voted for Plague Knight or not.
I don't feel like I would have. I'm sure I would have voted for Propeller Knight, and I don't know who else. But goddamn, he's a great choice. So, I mean, if people haven't played this before, the way it works is instead of swinging a shovel, you throw bombs. And the bombs are highly customizable. Like these are the regular sort of down arcing bombs, but you can get ones that go up. You can get ones that just kind of float in the air. And I've got mine with a timer that's kind of like a remote not a remote detonator. It's like it looks for movement. Like if an enemy comes inside the range of the little swirly lines, then it'll move towards them and explode. And also I'm using bombs that build upon themselves, so if I have all three of mine explode at once, you'll see it makes kind of like a super explosion.
Nice. So is this similar to the artifacts when you're playing vanilla Shovel Knight? Like you get things that let you do that, and then how does it work? You
buy them in the store as you go along. So if you look at the top left of the screen, I've got a little green coin. I have 9 of them. Those are called strange coins or alchemy coins, I don't remember. But they're hidden throughout the levels, and I've spent 100 of them so far, and every time you spend a batch of them, it unlocks the next wave of things to buy in the shop, which then you buy using money. So just the same golden gems that you pick up as Shovel Knight, which, to be fair, I think there's a bit too much of that. Like, there's a whole lot of gems in this game, and there always have been. But it's a minor detail. So the cool stuff is that when you throw bombs, it prevents you from falling. So you can jump, you can double jump, and then you can stretch your jump out by tossing a couple bombs down like that. But you can also charge up an explosion, which lets you go really, really far. And like if you do left or right, you just go like a rocketing off either way. Or you can just use it to jump straight up and just to gain some extra height. And you can charge up more than one of those explosions per maneuver, I guess you could say. So like you can jump, explode, throw some bombs, double jump, explode again, throw some more bombs. So you can just spend all day flying around.
What a maneuver!
Yes, exactly. It's really awesome. And again, like I haven't mastered it. I've only played a couple levels of Plague Knight, but it's really, really cool what you can do with this guy. So of course, that doesn't mean that everything is new. I've never played this level with him. I find overall, actually, the game is easier as Plague Knight, but I also find it's kind of more fun to just be able to, like, blaze through levels and just, like, if you're organized, you can do it with it touching the ground for really long stretches. You can buffer your explosion, like, between screens, and so they actually show you an example where the guy just keeps going back and forth over a screen change and exploding, like, buffering his explosion and just climbing it every single time, so you can climb to the top of the screen when you're at a screen transition or something like that. Anyway, it's really well designed. I'm super impressed, and I almost feel bad that they're giving this out for free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have been able to make the game without us, so I don't feel bad.
No, that's true. That's true. But
is it free for everybody? If you're just a schmo who bought the game after it came out, is it free or do you have to pay for it?
I think it's free for everybody. There's nothing in place in the game to allow for like purchases of micro DLC. Now these are little potions that let you bump up your maximum health until you die. I only hold 5, so every time I get one, might as well use it. Are these guys unkillable? They look pretty unkillable. Alright, let's see here. They've also done like all kinds of really awesome custom animations. Actually, apparently Plague Knight, the sprite that you play as is not the one that was the boss enemy in the game. They actually made a whole new sprite for the one that you play as. I guess he would have had like weird proportions or something like that if you used the boss one. I'm having a little bit of a hard time because every time the screen flicker starts, I can't see where I am.
So I'm posting now for anybody who is watching this. I'm posting right now the video of the Too Many Games panel that I was on that has finally been edited and put on YouTube. So that is a thing that appeals to you. You can go to onthestick.com and watch it right now.
This guy's blocking my shots. I can just use the fact that he's blocking my shots to build up 3 of them in a row and cause like a giant explosion in his face.
Does it blow up his shield?
It doesn't blow up his shield, but it damages him through his shield.
Nice. Yeah, yes, it does. Sorry, you have to forgive me, I'm on a delay. So.
Oh, right. I
was back from vacation, by the way.
I don't know, maybe you got off.
Maybe I was just wrong. Maybe he was on vacation for like a week and a half, but I thought he was on vacation.
I believe it is a week and a half that he was on vacation, but I thought it had been a week and a half already. So whatever.
It's been a week and a half, like today. So maybe he came back today and just didn't feel up to streaming, or maybe he comes back tomorrow. I'm not sure. He didn't answer our email. So Kurt was early to rise today, so early to bed tonight apparently. So again, it's just Mike and I.
Yeah, we're holding down the fort.
We really are.
Although I did warn Joe that I'm going to be skipping out on you guys briefly to check on my banana bread, because you don't want to ruin banana bread.
That's true, and I don't know what I'm going to do at that point, if I'm just going to talk for a minute.
I'm just going to talk for a minute, because it's only going to take me like a minute to check it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it would take longer to switch the stream from your computer to my computer.
Oh, it's totally not worth doing.
Yeah, for as long as it's going to take you to check that out. So I was still very enamored with my 3DS when I backed the Shovel Knight Kickstarter. And I feel like at this point I may have made the wrong decision. I mean, I still played the whole game, played through the whole thing, beat the Enchantress or whatever, did all that stuff, really enjoyed the game, but...
hard not to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. But I think... Did we give this a sticky? Was this on our list?
This was my #1 game of last year.
Yeah, okay. Let's say
which, I mean, I didn't think last year was a very good year for games, but
last
Shovel
year
Knight was
kind of a shit year for games, but Shovel Knight was pretty good.
But Shovel Knight did everything it could,
Yeah, definitely. Was it on my list? I feel like it must have been, because I also didn't play it for the game last year. I feel like. Anyways, point is, this game is really great, and I think I would have enjoyed it more if I'd played it on something that wasn't a handheld with a teeny tiny screen.
Maybe.
Like I keep sort of delaying getting a 3DS new 3DS XL.
You want my advice, Joe?
What's that?
Delay that forever.
Well,
I don't think there will ever be a good reason to get a new 3DS. Oh, why do I keep doing that?
Well, I have Majora's Mask.
Yeah. Do you need a new 3DS to play that?
You don't need it, but it looks that better. It takes advantage of the enhanced capabilities of the 3DS.
Is that so?
It is so. It's so. And I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like if I'm going to upgrade, I may as well get because then if a game comes out that does require it. I mean, I don't care about Xenoblade, but that's the only game that requires it right now, right? Is that correct?
Yes, and there, like as far as I'm aware, there may be like one other game coming, but really that's it. Like there's not a lot.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I've been thinking about. What I'd like to do is get a new 3DS XL, a US one, then transfer all my stuff over, then sell my US 3DS and buy a Japanese vanilla 3DS, or vanilla 3DS XL, because there's a ton of a friend of the show, Scott Lowe, has a Japanese 3DS, and apparently there's like 4 or 5 Kunio games out on the 3DS in Japan, and they're all in the eShop, and you can link, so unlike the PlayStation Store, which is a giant pain in the ass, as I think you well know, to get stuff.
You mean in general, or the
Japanese? If you want to get Japanese stuff.
On my PS3, it was easy as hell. I have an account. I mean, the hard part.
I have an account, but the hard part is getting ends. But apparently, on your 3DS, on the eShop, you can link an American credit card.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Boy, that's like making it too easy. Makes you kind of wonder why they even bothered to put a region lock on.
Right, which is, well, yeah, that I will never understand, especially since so many handhelds weren't region locked until the 3DS. Like, I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, that's really obnoxious. But yeah, there's a bunch of fine Japanese software in the eShop, and you can link an American credit card. So I've really been wanting, and again, mostly Kunio games. There's also there's a new Kunio game for the PS3, or it's not a new, it's like a remake of Crash and the Boys Street Challenge, basically. But,
interesting.
But we're not getting any of these games, and that's just the saddest thing for me. Because, as you probably know, I really like Kunio games.
Yes, I am aware of that.
I just
and,
posted a video on the site about a Kunio game, like a week ago. So.
I mean, really, what's not to like?
There's nothing.
Kunio or Ricky. I could go either way. Actually, I've always been like that. I was always a Ryan guy, so I guess I'm a Ricky boy.
Yeah. I can't hardly blame you for that.
But I mean, I just always had this penchant for not taking the obvious choice. I always enjoyed playing as Luigi in the Mario Brother games where they were equivalent.
Well, that's because, well, when they're not equivalent, Luigi is clearly the superior one. So why?
I don't like the way he plays in Mario 2.
Oh, you're wrong.
Too floaty. I mean, it's fun that you can use them to do some cool stuff in like skip areas. That's fun. But I hate playing it. Too much inertia. Ugh. I actually really like Mario 2 because he just stops on a dime. Actually, he's got controls that are kind of similar to his Super Mario World controls.
Toad also stops on a dime.
Yeah, but Toad can't jump for shit.
So can you fish? Because I see the little sparkle like you're fishing. Oh, there you go. You throw a fish.
So you haven't been watching very carefully, have you?
No, not especially. I just told you I was posting a video on the site. So you throw a fish instead of using a fishing pole.
You throw an exploding fish bomb. I'm gonna go and check on my my banana bread. Actually, I don't need to stop talking to you while I do this.
Okay, sounds good. But you should stop playing. Maybe.
I did. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, you're still playing from what I'm looking at. So.
Well, you get with the times.
I'm trying. I am. It's happening right now, whether I want it to or not. I'm getting with the times.
I thought you should know that I'm making a double chocolate banana bread with a recipe from the Smitten Kitchen, which is a pretty good recipe, if I do say so. Not myself, because I didn't write it. This is looking pretty done.
You are still saying so yourself, though.
Well, I guess so.
Still what's happening.
I'm saying so, but I'm saying so on behalf of another person. So, like, that kind of defeats the expression, doesn't it?
Right, sure.
I didn't think that was how the expression worked. I'm just going to stick a chopstick in here and see if batter's cooked. That doesn't look bad. You got to bear in mind that it's gonna firm up a little bit even out of the oven.
Does it look good if you do say so yourself?
If I were to say so, if I was the person saying so, I would say it looks pretty good. I would also say it looks pretty done, which is good, so no more interruptions. Just turning off my IKEA oven. Putting away my sweet Haida salmon oven mitts.
Well, shit. Ain't you fucking fancy.
I'm pretty fancy. Everybody knows. Alright, let's get back to exploding tentacles.
Let's do that.
So I'm being a little boring here because I'm not showing you all the different like bomb casings and things.
What's going on with the snowflekes, by the way? You hit me.
So when I do my little explode thing and I explode in that way that I do, mostly to jump, you can get a lot of different boosts for that ability that have different effects. And so the one I'm using right now drops snowflakes on stuff. Which I guess is useful if you want to kill stuff below you. I figured it would be good for boss fights. I figure a lot of the times in boss fights I'm going to be above the boss, floating around, trying not to touch the ground. Oops. I don't actually want to turn this into a challenge run by exploding the checkpoints. Ooh. What's this? Oh yes, I forgot about this boss. Oh, can't kill him, huh? Right. Oh, jeez. The thing with the explosion jump is that it gives you a lot of momentum and you can't easily control it unless you have your double jump left over. So if you have your double jump, well, I'm having a bit of trouble here because every time the flashing starts, I kind of lose my character. Yeah. The double jump lets you kill your momentum on a dime, but if you don't have your double jump left over because you've already used it, then sometimes when you explode yourself forward, it can be really hard to stop before you get in trouble. But that's kind of part of the fun.
Yeah, so in this fight against this giant lanternfish, I wonder if the Yacht Club folks were inspired by the Mega Man 2 Dragon.
I don't know about the dragon. I mean, if anything, they would have been inspired by the Mega Man 2 Lanternfish, wouldn't they?
The Mega Man 2 Lanternfish doesn't chase you across like some perilous, precise platforming.
True.
It just sits there while you blow it up with a metal blade.
I mean, certainly there's that, and other Mega Man games also have stuff kind of like that. I guess I'm thinking of some of the later ones, but like I think like Mega Man and Base has a big boss that does that to you. Anyway, that is the obvious reference, and clearly these guys love them some Mega Man.
Clearly.
Yeah, every time I take a hit and start flashing, it gets a little dicey to figure out where I am. Which is a lot, because I'm not especially good at this game. Also, I'm like addicted to using the explosion maneuver, which is... Yes, what a maneuver. Because it's just too much fun, but it's not exactly the safest way to play.
Right, so you're bomb jumping similar to like the soldier or the demo man in like Team Fortress 2. Like you're blowing yourself up, and that gives you. Does it take health from you when you do that, or it's just?
No, thank God no, because I mean it's too important to your moveset. You just do it non-stop. No, it's super fun. I really like it. Okay, these guys are on the ceiling. I can use two of those alchemy coins. I can use this as an excuse to show you some of the other stuff that you can change your bomb to. So I'm using the bounce casing. That one goes down and bounces on the ground. But I also have the lob casing, which gives you kind of the Castlevania axe arc.
You.
What?
The axe is like the worst sub-weapon. Oh, the dagger is the worst sub-weapon in Castlevania.
The axe is cool.
Like a close second.
The axe is super useful in some cases.
The axe sucks, dude. The axe is garbage.
Alright, you say so.
The holy water is where it's at.
Holy water's never there when you need it.
That's also true. The holy water is never there when you need it. Unless you help. It's the holy water and the boomerang. And like occasionally the
the boomerang is clearly the best, but I mean there's not really any discussion over that fact, right?
It depends on which Castlevania you're talking about, because in Castlevania 1, the holy water will stun lock and kill bosses that are otherwise super difficult, and it does it really easily. Like, you can stun lock Death with the holy water.
Doesn't that mostly
and you can stun lock Medusa with the holy water.
Doesn't that mostly just tell you that Castlevania 1 kind of sucks?
I think sucks is probably a bridge slightly too far, but
well,
I think
given when it came out, it can be pardoned a little bit, but I don't know.
It's just super fair, and for reasons that don't entirely feel organic, for lack of a better way of putting it.
I mean, the fact is, there's not a Castlevania game that I really love until you get to Rondo of Blood.
Really? You don't love... we talked about this. You don't love Dracula's Curse.
I fucking hate Dracula's Curse. I think it despises the player.
So I'm going to say this and let you know that I'm going to be elaborating on it more fully in the future, in the fairly near future. But you should consider giving the Famicom version a try, because it doesn't hit the play nearly as much. Well, yes, it makes
Does it do anything else?
Grant better. Yeah, it does a lot else. The primary thing that a lot of people know, the two things that everybody knows, is it makes Grant easier because Grant, instead of stabbing, he throws his daggers. That's his default.
Yeah.
So that makes him even more, like, kind of ridiculously OP than he already is in the American version. But the game also, the way the enemy, so the enemies always do the same amount of damage, whereas in the US version, when you get to the later stages, the enemies are way more damage than they did.
Yes, they do. Yeah, 4 hits from anything will kill you in the US version.
Right, so that doesn't happen in the Japanese version. And there's some other changes too. But everybody knows about Grant, and everybody knows the music is better in the Japanese version, because there's an expansion chip in the cartridge.
It is more elaborate. I think that there's some. I think that some of the arrangements in the NES version are more interesting, or just sound better. They lean more heavily on the stronger channels, your classic square waves. There's more going on, but I don't necessarily like it more. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. There's definitely more going on there, and I do like it more. For my part,
I think
it still sounds like an NES chiptune. But yeah, as you said, the arrangements are more. It has a fuller sound, I think.
So. It does, but I think that there's something like I like the NES sound chip in its basic incarnation. Oh, look at that! I can make platforms now. That's good.
You can use that to get that green coin exploding.
There you go. Well, this is I keep using them by accident, but they've saved my bacon a couple times now. So, yeah, how does that work? You make it beaker and then it falls down. So you jump in the air and then it always appears right underneath you. Oh, that's actually pretty useful, huh? Plague Knight gets these little launcher doohickeys that you use to get back to the main part of the level after you've gone on an excursion like this. Oh, that one shot me down. Weird. So I guess I need to go back here now. What do I? I'm a little confused. Okay, yeah, this is the way forward.
I get it. Because these guys used to work there.
What?
You said this is the way forward.
Oh man, that was accidental. Man, I wish I'd known that I was making such an awesome pun. This thing's gonna fly. Loaded, right, okay. Oh, I don't need to do that. I can change relics. Like this, go fish! Oh, it's one of these potion doohies. I have configured, normally I play this on my other computer using a PS2 controller, because it just has better D-pad.
Yeah.
And so the way I configured my buttons there is just slightly different, which is why I keep opening the pause, like the options menu every time I'm trying to switch items.
What are you using now?
I'm on my other computer using an Xbox 360 pad. Which is fine because this game doesn't, like, it's not super precise in the up-down axis. Like, for going left and right, the 360 analog stick is okay. I would never use the D-pad.
Oh no, I can't. I can't even use. I can't use an analog stick in a 2D game like this for anything. It just doesn't feel right to me at all. I'll use the wonky ass D-pad before I use. But I mean, really, at this point, I have a USB adapter for PS2 USB adapter for PS2 controllers and the free software thing that lets me use my PS4 controller, which has a fantastic D-pad.
Yeah, if I had a PS4 controller, then I would definitely be using that, but I would rather have wireless than have, like, I could have my PS2 controller up, but it's wired. I don't want to deal with that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I game on a laptop, so I'm always literally sitting directly in front of it when I play games, so being wired into it is not, that's no shit off my shorts.
Okay, I can't jump through those. My bomb bounced off. I gotta look at this. Not leaving without that alchemy coin. Oh, no,
so is there a story? Not that this game was, heavy on the story to begin with, but is there a story here?
Oh, absolutely.
Now?
Yeah, Plague Knight has decided that he wants to build some kind of ultimate alchemical concoction, but to do so, he's going to have to bump off all of the other members of the Knights of No Quarter because they've each got one of the components for it. Which I guess they don't know because they don't know anything about alchemy or something. I don't know. No.
So, is he? What about Shovel Knight? How does he figure into this?
Well, I have not gotten to Shovel Knight yet, but I believe I know where he is. Because you still play Plague Knight's level.
Okay.
And I think that Shovel Knight is the boss of Plague Knight's hometown.
Plague Knight stage.
I am totally cheesing this knight dude. Whoa, that is a lot of money. By just exploding bombs in his face, and I don't even care.
So I think next month, I think we're going to try to do as many spooky games as we can for this stream, but I may also do a couple of solo streams of single-player stuff that is spooky. I'm thinking about playing through all of the... Yeah, I'm thinking about streaming D.
Cool.
Because, because you have to play it in one sitting. It's a short game.
Well, I mean, you could probably save state it at this point if you were to run it on an emulated 3DO or something.
You could, but that's sort of...
It's antithetical to the spirit of the game.
Yeah, it's not that long of a game.
It is like 2 hours maximum, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a hard time limit. I think it's actually like 150 minutes is the hard time limit, but I don't recall. But yeah, so it can't be. I'm sure, you know what, I wrote about it last year for On the Sticks 31 Days of Horror Games, which will be coming back starting a week from tomorrow, as usual. Mike, did you know this is like 5th year running that we've done 31 Days of Horror Games?
That's a lot of years.
Actually, I think this is the 5th year running that we've done the 31 days of something. The first year was 31 days of Twilight Zone.
Oh, was that only the first year?
That was the first year.
We also did 31 days of indie games once or twice.
That was we did. But that was not in October. That was
not in October.
February. I think we did on the stick Hearts indie games in February. 1 or 2 years.
It's still true, but it doesn't really need to be said quite as much as it used to. Oh, hey, I'm at the end of the level.
No, that's true. No, it's 2. You're right. It's 2 hours. I'm looking at my own article. I'm referencing myself here. Yeah, 2 hours, and then it's over. It's a really creepy game. It's surprisingly effective, even though it like looks like total fucking garbage at this point.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But
if anything, it's scarier for the graphics.
Yeah, I had never played it until I played it for this article last year. It was one of those things that I'd always wanted to play, and it looked like something I wouldn't be into when it came out. You know, it was an early PlayStation game, came in the long box, and it...
That sounds like the kind of thing you love. Long box PlayStation game?
Yeah, well, it is now, maybe a little bit. But I do have a weird fetish for long box PlayStation games now. And every time I see a long box PlayStation game, I like automatically buy it, even if it's like something that I don't give a shit about. But you know, it was an early game, and it reminded me of the Sega CD games I'd felt so burned on. So I passed on it then, and then it sort of gathering this legend, and I never really knew what it was. And then I finally realized, like, no, this is something that I would definitely be into. And I played it, and it is. It's like squarely in my wheelhouse, as it turns out.
So people who are watching the stream are seeing a kind of a fun little cutscene that happens every time you beat a boss fight. The way I just told you to wreck that guy, by the way. And I really like all the details that go into the alchemy workshop. Whenever you recover one of the essences from the boss, there are about 4 distinct steps where the essences run through all these different machines. And they animated all this stuff just for this expansion. Like, they put in a shit ton of effort into making this expansion really cool and like a cohesive game, as opposed to just like kind of an alternate ROM hack palette swap mode.
Yeah, which I definitely appreciate that they worked that hard on it. And what I love about it is this game clearly is the NES aesthetic, but it uses way more colors.
Actually, I read a very long blog post by them, and they don't use way more colors. They use a few more colors, or maybe it uses more colors at once. But
right, it uses. Oh, sorry. It uses a few more colors than are in the whole color palette, but it uses more on there's more stuff. There are more colors on screen.
Yes,
than
it's true. It's true.
The NES was capable of displaying at one time.
Yes, but the color palette is almost entirely the NES color palette, with a couple of exceptions. In fact, I think Shovel Knight's color is one of the main exceptions because they couldn't find a color that they liked for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, it looks really great. It looks like a little better than a super late era NES game.
Mm-hmm. And it's in widescreen.
And it's in widescreen.
So I got a whole bunch of money here. I'm just trying to think what I can do rapidly. I can get cluster powder. Get
Make it rain.
Well, yeah, I just got to decide how I want to spend my dough. I can set remote bombs that explode when I press the button, but that sounds like a lot of work. I can set quick fuse bombs that blow up almost immediately, but that doesn't sound like the thing I want. I can get the orbit casing, which turns my bombs into a rotating shield. That sounds kind of fun. Or I can get waves of fire in both directions, or rapidly form several. I'm going to try this expensive cluster powder. Give that a whirl. See how I like it. I can only throw 1 bomb at a time now. When using it, did they? No, they did not. They did not actually put it on front. So cluster powder. So let's see if this bomb ever goes off. What's going to happen? Oh, okay. It makes kind of like it's like a shotgun bomb. I don't know that that's actually useful because I really. And I guess okay, you can still throw empty bombs while you're in the air to keep yourself floating. Yeah, I like the setup that I had previously, with the bombs that seek out enemies and that make a big explosion when you stick a bunch of them together. One thing that I'm looking forward to is getting some new like jumpy bursts. So I have the snowflake one that you've seen, but I also have a couple others. But I don't love them. There's the bullet burst, which lets you just shoot a big projectile forward every time you burst, which is, that's useful, I guess. It's good for hitting enemies that are too far away. There's the float burst, which gives you almost like a Mario style, like really, really long descent. But that one seems to remove your ability to charge up multiple bursts in a single jump. And for me, that takes half the fun out of the game. Like I really feel like that's the newbie version for people who are uncomfortable with the controls. But I think once you know what you're doing, you should probably move on to one of the other ones. I got the long fuse. Oh, so the long fuse means that they're just going to explode. So now I can take off the little homing thing that you saw earlier. I don't see why I would do that though. Centrifuge. Back we go. Alright, there's not much else that I can get right now. I can extend my magic bar out by another segment, but I don't think that would do me much good. This bird guy here sold me my exploding fish thing that I was using, but doesn't seem to have any more arcana for me. This magic girl here has a total crush on you. But Plague Knight clearly pines for Mona. And you know, how could you not? She's tall, green.
Right. There's the frog that makes puns isn't present for...
Well, we have the horse who gives romance advice, which you're going to be seeing in a couple seconds.
I don't know if that's a suitable replacement for the...
No, so far it's definitely it definitely feels like a step down. But I haven't made it to the second town yet. In fact, I just unlocked the second town. Oh, and I think Baz just showed. Oh no, Boomerang Kid just showed up. I can do a mini boss battle if I want. So yeah, we can go check out the armor outpost. I think this will give us a chance to maybe I can buy some new outfits for my guy. You're not allowed into the first town. There's a guardsman who prevents you from entering.
Should you be able to just like kill a random guard?
Apparently not.
Seems silly, but you know, video game logic.
This Percy horseman has a catapult set up that will apparently fling me into the ocean. 50 cipher coins.
That's a less helpful.
I don't have 50 cipher coins. I need another couple. Oh, look at this! I'm in the background of the shop. Can I get in there? Can't seem to break the window. Oh, okay, I can just drop down. Oh, okay, you're always in the background. Look, you can see Shovel Knight running around talking to the townsfolk. Is he in the shop now? Oh, he did that. Oh yeah, he's shopping. What do you think he's gonna buy? This is great, you can be a total creeper.
Plague Knight kind of looks like a creeper, so...
Oh yeah, I think he is. I do love the effort that they go to sort of make it like it. There's a reason why you never have to deal with Shovel Knight, you're always in the background somewhere. Oh, he's not going to go tell any jokes to the frog. That is not how I play the game. I would like to get up here and talk to Chester, but I guess that is not allowed to... I grab that ladder? Nope, I'm behind the ladder too. I mean, this is really funny, but is there like nothing for me to do here?
Get those coins and then pay the horseman for
I need 7 more. Alright, that's a little disappointing. Maybe I can beat up Baz. What is Baz from again?
I'm not sure.
Because all the bonus bosses in this game are from like other games or something.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure. You should look that up. I'm curious.
I don't know. He looks like he's from.
He looks like the God of War or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, eat it. Eat the giant explosion.
Shovel Knight bonus and bosses. Let's see.
Ow, these bombs.
There's a lot of options. Let's see. On the PS4 version, you can fight Kratos.
Oh, that's true. There is actually a literal God of War boss in that version of the game. I am a little bit sad that you don't get the Battletoads for the for the Windows version of this game. I mean, I know they got to try and sell their Xbox One and all, but wow, this guy fight gets a lot harder in the second half. Also, when I can't see what I'm doing, that does not help. Ooh, that was a little closer than I wanted it to be.
They were created by people who donated, apparently.
Oh, really?
So Baz was created by Matt and Wooly from Two Best Friends Play.
Does Baz exist in other games now?
He might.
I feel like I've seen Baz elsewhere. Like he might have been like a bonus item or something like that you could get for I don't know what.
If that's the case, nothing in the IGN Shovel Knight wiki strategy guide mentions it.
Well, if IGN doesn't know, then it's not worth knowing. I love the tower in the background of this boss fight stage. Very Ninja Gaiden.
Do you look for the tower and then find it?
Okay, I just recruited Baz to go to my base, apparently.
That was awesome. See, Plague Knight has a heart of gold at the center.
You're in for a treat once he finally puts on his costume. That didn't get me any cipher coins though, so I'm not any closer to getting flung into the ocean. But I kind of, I think I'd rather unlock the next level of research. I think I'll save my cipher coins. Give them to Mona. All right, let's deal with this boomerang kid.
You deal with that boomerang kid. And yeah, that outfit is pretty choice. So did you see that there's like system exclusive tracks for Rock Band 4?
No, but I'm also like I don't own any of the consoles it's on, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to Rock Band 4. Anything interesting?
If you pre-order the digital version on PlayStation 4 and you're a PlayStation Plus member, you get like 10 tracks. One of them is a Duran Duran song, one of them is Cowboys from Hell.
Is it a good Duran Duran song?
It's the Reflex.
That's
so,
a good Duran Duran
yes-ish.
song.
It's fine. It's not Girls on Film or,
Is Girls on Film available?
I think so. I think it was in one of the earlier games. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know, I'm really on the fence about Rock Band 4, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, well, the track list is not inspiring.
Well, also, like, and they removed keyboard support, which I guess some people were happy about, but, like, I spent how much money on that goddamn keyboard?
Probably, like, $90 by my estimates. Although now you could probably get one for about 20.
Yeah, well, but I didn't get one for 20, you know what I mean? I mean, I got plenty of use out of it from Rock Band 3, I guess, but now, I don't know, it's one of those things, like, I know I can transfer a lot of my DLC, because I had the PS3 version of Rock Band 1 to Lego 3, and so I can transfer most of my songs and stuff, which is cool, because I would be getting it on PS4 because I don't have an Xbox One. Which is nice, but again, like, I don't... Maybe it's just where I live, in this teeny tiny apartment, but, like, I just don't see how much... Can't drum.
Oh, did I get him or
There's barely enough space to do anything else, and, like, I just don't... Like, I never... The only time I play Rock Band now is, like, when you came to visit, we played a bunch of Rock Band, and, like, stuff like that. Like, it's the kind of thing where, like, maybe I'd take it to my office for a party or something, but, like, I just don't imagine at this point hanging out in my apartment by myself playing Rock Band.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I look at Rock Band 4 and I'm like, well, it's cool that they're making a new one, but it has less features and, in a certain sense, less music than the ones I already own, which I could play anytime, and I'm not playing those either. So, so it's just like, yeah, like, there's nothing stopping me from sitting down and playing as much Rock Band as I want, like...
Right.
Like, what are they going to add to this game that's going to get me excited aside from cool music? And the track list that I've seen has there's only a few tracks that I was even vaguely interested in from when they unveiled the full track list for Rock Band 4. And I've got a whole bunch of music on my collection on my Xbox that I've only played like a few times. You know, like some of the stuff that I bought towards the end of the cycle when it's just like.
I think I bought a couple tracks before they were delisted that I literally have never played. Like, I bought them because I heard they were going to get delisted or something, and then I was like, I should have these just in case, and I've never actually played them.
Yeah. And, like, you know, back when they put out the entirety of, or the entire first side, I think, of 2112, the Rush album, like, Eric, Kurt, and I bought that, and we played the song, like, the 20-minute song, maybe twice, but I don't think any one of us has touched it since then.
Well,
so,
I mean, how often are you going to play a fucking 20-minute song?
Anytime I play Rock Band, which is never.
Really? No, that's not true, because I was with you the last time you played Rock Band, and you did not play that song.
Well, I don't hate you that much, Joe.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look here. 38 Special sucks. 4 Non-Blondes. I mean...
What's the 38 Special song?
Caught Up in You.
No idea.
Aerosmith.
Didn't we play a 38 Special song at Anthony's place?
We might have.
And wasn't it pretty good?
I
remember it being pretty good.
They're like a shitty southern rock band. They suck. Okay. Arctic Monkeys, I can take or leave at best. Avenged Sevenfold sucks. Benjamin Booker, I don't know who that is. Black Keys are okay.
Right. I like the Black Keys.
I don't
probably
know
would make some good rock band songs, I think.
Yeah, I don't know who the both is, but the song is called Milwaukee, so it'd be points for that, I guess.
Or negative points.
You shut up. Brad Paisley featuring Keith Urban. I would rather... Well, I mean, you can imagine, right? Brandy Carlisle, Cake. I like Cake, but that is definitely not my favorite Cake song.
Yeah, agreed. That was kind of my reaction to it. It was like, they didn't even pick one from the album that I like.
Right, right. And really, you only need one Cake album, because they're a band that literally always sounds the same.
I like Cake a lot, but it's true that you basically need Fashion Nugget, and you can get a few songs from their other albums, and they're good songs.
Yeah,
but yes,
Fashion Nugget is pretty much like you're good though. Really, like, if you have Fashion Nugget, you're fine. The Cure, Friday Emblem. The Cure is one of my very favorite bands of all time. That is very much not my favorite Cure song of all time. Dark Wheels. Don't know who that is. Disturbed is terrible. I hate Dream Theater.
Even I don't like Dream Theater very much.
Yeah, Duck and Cover, don't know who that is. Eddie Japan, don't know who that is. Elvis Presley, Suspicious Minds, that would be fun. And in fact, I'm glad they got some old, like, there's like no old, really 50s rock and roll in any of these games, so...
Yeah, but I wish they could have gotten older Elvis.
Yeah, that's true. Fallout Boy, there are a couple songs that I could see being fun in Rock Band. This is not one of them. Fleetwood Mac, I can really take or leave in general, and this song doesn't really do anything for me. I like the Foo Fighters a lot. Again, this song, The Feast and the Famine,
no idea.
It doesn't really do anything for me. Gary Clark Jr., don't know who that is. I love the Gin Blossoms, Follow You Down. Again, not the song I would have picked. Like,
I mean, that's alright, but...
Why not Hey Jealousy? Or was that already in a Rock Band game?
Probably already DLC, no? Not in Rock Band, but it could be DLC.
I don't know. I don't want to go down through this whole list, but I'm just looking like it's not... I mean, again, Heart is on the soundtrack, but it's a song that I don't give a shit about. It's not Barracuda. Imagine Dragons are terrible. Jack White solo stuff I can take or leave. Judas Priest is good, but I don't really like this song. Well, I don't not like it, but it's not like a Judas Priest song. Really, yeah, man, that's a fucking jam. I hate the Killers. I hate Live. I hate Leonard Skinner.
What's the Live song?
All Over You. So again, not even like they're Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. That song is a jam. That song is totally a jam. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, The Impression That I Get. That song is also a jam. That would be cool. I hate Mumford and Sons. The Outfield, Your Love is kind of a jam. I can feel that. Ozzy Osbourne, Miracle Man is just sort of a kind of left field choice. Like I like that
Miracle
song.
Man?
Yeah, it's the first track off of No Rest for the Wicked, which is a really good record, but I don't think that's not one that a lot of people immediately think of. You know, when they're thinking about Ozzy Osbourne.
People at home might have been able to spot why I just died there, because I hadn't equipped the platform making item.
Good job. That Paramore song, I'm not sure which Paramore song that is, so I can't speak to that. Protoman Light Up the Night is kind of a jam.
I'm not getting the hang of this platform thing. Queens of the Stone Age, they're okay.
I like Queens of the Stone Age. Again, that song is one that, like, I'm like, oh man. And again, there we go. Like, and immediately, like, REM. I like REM a lot. The One I Love, it's a fine song, but not. I mean, Orange Crush is in Rock Band 1 or 2.
I don't. Is it?
It's in one. It's in 1 or 2.
It's a great song. I don't remember playing it very much in Rock Band, but I guess it's a pretty easy song to play. Probably a little on the boring side to actually play.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on there, but a hell of a song.
Rock Band 2. Orange Crush was in Rock Band 2. Rick Derringer. I mean, that's like...
Isn't that like the rock and roll
cheese metal.
guy?
Right, yeah, that's the song. Rock and Roll. That's like total cheese metal, so I guess, like, sure, why not? Rush, A Passage to Bangkok. I'm not even familiar. I mean, I hate Rush.
That's alright.
Feel about that, but Scandals, The Warrior. Again, that's sort of like cheese metal, butt rock. That's probably fun with a bunch of people. The Scorpions are great, like German power metal, cheese metal. But No One Like You is not a song that I'm familiar with at all. And if it's not Rock Me Like a Hurricane, why fucking bother? So, like, there's just a lot of weird choices here.
There's a lot of choices.
Super unknown.
That's a great song. I think that's actually an inspired choice.
Yeah, but it's not like one of their hits.
No, it's not one of their hits, but it's a really good song, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to play. That's actually one of the ones that I kind of would be the most interested in playing. Well,
I can see that again.
Adding this whole little platform creation doohickey that I've got adds a layer of complexity that I am clearly not able to wrap my head around.
I believe in you, Mike. Spin Doctors, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. Like,
great.
I probably fun with a bunch of people, but I sort of hate the Spin Doctors now.
They're a little annoying. First CD I ever
bought. I hate Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
First CD. Is that the name of the album? I don't remember. Yeah, probably.
The one album they had with all those hits on it? Yes, that was it. System of a Down, I hate. Van Halen Panama is a jam, I'll say that.
I'm surprised to hear that you're a Van Halen fan.
I am, strictly speaking, a David Lee Roth Van Halen fan. I wouldn't say fan, like I don't own any other records.
You can enjoy a David Lee Roth Van Halen song.
But I can enjoy, like, yeah, Jump and Panama. Van Morrison, Brown Eyed Girl. That's a great song. But, like,
yeah, but I don't know if I ever need to hear it again in my life.
Yeah, right. Also that, and I definitely don't need to hear people like drunkenly caterwauling it in Rock Band. And like a couple bands I don't know, and like The Who. It's like at this point, how many Who songs aren't in Rock Band?
Which one is it this time?
The Seeker. Yeah, right. Like I don't even. You don't need any more. Any more Who songs in Rock Band?
I mean, I've probably got like 5 or 6 Who songs, and I'm not even a big Who fan. But you know, they're there.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm working on this level out of like blind stubbornness. Like, I don't need the money that badly, and I'm clearly not. I just want to prove that I can actually finish this.
I believe in you, like I said that already.
Thanks.
So there's an article on Game Informer. I was reading that list on Game Informer, and there's a link in the sidebar for a look at the non-canonical Metal Gear games.
Oh?
Of which there are more than you might think.
Solid Snake? Jesus Christ, this is going to be hard.
No, right. Solid Snake is canonical. The 2 Solid Snake.
Metal Gear 2 on the NES is canonical?
No, that's Snake's Revenge.
Oh, sorry, Snake's Revenge. Okay, I had the name wrong. I just wanted to say one last thing with the Rock Band set list was that it clearly reads like a set list made after they've already made 3 games in the series and a whole shitload of DLC. Like
4 games. 4 games. Lego Rock Band had a full set. And
it's true, actually. It had a very good set list.
Lego Rock Band had one of the better set lists, I would say, of all the Rock Band games.
And actually, I really enjoyed playing it just on its own.
I like the weird boss battles and stuff that were.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job with making the backgrounds for the stage and stuff. And
yep.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Anyway, anyway, my point being, they've gone through a lot of the obvious choices and even some of the non-obvious choices, and this is what they got left. And that's not super exciting to me, and that's why I'm not planning on buying a new console.
I mean,
to play this
I'm
game
most
anytime
interested to see the DLC, wind up again, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very on the fence. I might gamefly it just to see how I feel about it, and then make a decision about it. So anyway, Metal Gear, non-canonical Metal Gear games. So
Snake's Revenge.
Snake's Revenge, right? And Snake's Revenge, by the way, is not a good game. And I've heard people, it's one of those things where, when enough people talk shit about a thing for a long enough time, eventually the apologists start to come out of the woodwork. And I always get the sense that some folks... No, for this game. And I always get the sense that folks who do that are doing it just to... I don't want to say for the attention, but basically for the attention, just to be like, no, man, I like that game. That game is good. You just don't know what you're talking about. No.
Someone probably managed to enjoy it at some point in their lives.
Yeah, but it's really bad. Even considering that NES Metal Gear is kind of a shit show, and actually it's weird that NES Metal Gear isn't listed here because there's a number of differences in NES Metal Gear. That it's the non-canon version of that story as far as Kojima's concerned.
Right, but it's close to the real deal.
It's close. Snake's Revenge is an even crappier Metal Gear than NES Metal Gear, and I appreciate the importance of NES Metal Gear being released in the United States, and I appreciate that it was okay at the time. But especially if you've played MSX Metal Gear, you cannot go back to NES Metal Gear. It's so much worse. And Snake's Revenge is so much worse than that already low bar of NES Metal Gear. And it's weird, there are apologists for Snake's Revenge now who are like, no man, it's not that bad. I own a copy of this game. It's fucking terrible. Then there's Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color. AKA Ghost Babel.
Which is not canonical, but apparently pretty good.
I have it, and I haven't played much of it. It's one of those things that I've been meaning to do a same name, different game. In fact, I teased doing a same name, different game on it 3 times and never actually got around to doing it. And so I haven't actually played through it all the way. But it's a classic, old-school style 2D Metal Gear. So, when I played of it, it's
sounds like
good.
The kind of thing you might enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. Metal Gear Acid and Metal Gear Acid 2.
Oh yes, non-canonical. I'm really sad that those were never released on the PlayStation Store, because I would totally have played those games.
Well, why? You could just... I'm sure you can get UMD copies now for nothing.
Effort.
How much effort is it to go to eBay and type in Metal Gear Acid?
Yeah, but then you gotta pay for shipping and it gets more expensive.
Okay.
If I was very motivated, then I guess I would do it, but
well, they're card battling games. And I'm just not really... I don't know that I want to play a Metal Gear card battling game.
I do.
Alright.
Apparently not very much, but I would be much happier if they could magically appear on the PSN Store, but I guess that's not going to happen anytime soon. Then again, you get surprised. Mega Man Legends just got announced.
Yeah, Mega Man Legends coming to the PSN Store. Not everybody can see how poorly that game has aged, and hopefully, they'll be able to see how much better the sequel really is.
Are you talking about Tron Bonne or Mega Man Legends 2?
I'm talking about Mega Man Legends. Tron Bonne's already out.
Yeah. No, but you're saying the sequel's better, so I'm just curious as to...
I'm saying Metal Gear...
Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge is better than Mega Man Legends.
No, I wouldn't go that far. The control... Here's the thing. Mega Man Legends was released before the analog controller for the PlayStation was released, so the controls are incredibly clunky.
Yep.
You turn with the L and R buttons. Pestilence, and I think people who haven't played it don't realize that. Like, they get all this hype,
Just how
and they're,
awful
like,
that is.
everybody. There's a lot of people who talk that game up about how great it is, and the controls are so bad in that game. And you would think that would make the N64 version more desirable, but the N64 version is bad in a bunch of other ways. So just skip it. Go right to Legends 2. You'll have a better time, I promise. But of course, if they don't put it out on PlayStation Network, you don't have that option.
I don't know, at the rate that they're going, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pretty soon.
I hope so. I'm just sad that PS4 won't. They won't just build a fucking PlayStation 1 emulator for the PS4, which is so dumb.
So ridiculous. So I haven't told you this, but I am considering buying a new PlayStation 3 over getting a PlayStation 4.
Don't you have a PlayStation 3?
Yeah, it's kind of busted.
Yeah.
My PlayStation...
Mine isn't busted yet, but it makes a lot of noise.
Well, that's what
Very
it is.
noisy.
It works just fine, but it makes a shit ton of noise all the time. Like, you start it up, and within 30 seconds, the fan is going at maximum speed no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it just never stops.
I'm worried that it's gonna, because mine's doing that, I'm kind of worried. And mine's a 60 gig, so it plays PS2 games, and I really don't want it to, like, shit out on me.
Mine's an 80 gig, which also plays PS2 games, although using software backwards compatibility, which actually works pretty well. And so, yes, I would like to keep it alive if possible too, but I've kind of realized that, you know, already just being able to keep access to all the PS1 games that I have is important to me. And
Yes.
there are a couple of PS3 games that I want to keep. Like, I haven't played Demon's Souls yet, but I own it, and I want to kind of go through that, and I have the Ratchet & Clank games, which I would just not, you know, I don't want to lose access to them. I'm not. And just a few PSN games like Flower and Journey and stuff like that.
Well, Journey got ported to the PS4, and it automatically was cross-buy. So if you have
That's true.
Journey and you have a PS4, which I still haven't downloaded it, but if you have it, you can just go download it. Which I love that they've done the cross-buy thing, and like Nintendo just refuses to get on that.
They're going to get there.
It's so aggravating.
I agree. It sucks. But no, you're right. Okay, so there is that. But it's mostly like all the PS1 games. It's true that if they were to say, by the way, now all your PS1 games work on a PS4, I would be significantly more likely to put that money into a PS4.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just so aggravating. It's like, dude, just have a fucking intern build an emulator. Like, how hard? I mean, I couldn't do it because I don't have any programming know-how. But if
just
you
port
are...
like an existing DOS PS4 emulator onto it, I'm sure they could do that. It would be illegal, but they totally could.
Yeah,
it would have worked.
I mean, hasn't Nintendo stolen ROMs from like cool ROMs?
Yes,
shit?
they have. They have. I mean,
didn't somebody
they were
like
stolen
open
back, I guess, but
right? Somebody pulled a ROM though, and like there was like in the code or something there was whatever, somebody put like a digital watermark from
yeah, there was like
whatever
a header from
site it
Cherry-ROMs or
was.
something like that.
Yeah. So finishing up this Metal Gear thing.
All right,
This
sure.
is one that I didn't even know existed. Did you know there was a Metal Gear Solid game for the N-Gage?
The N-Gage. Wow.
Side talking, man.
Side
Metal.
speaking. Side
Yeah.
OSPing.
Yep. Metal Gear Solid Mobile could be interpreted as the missing link between Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, but its canonical merit is up for debate. The game's story covers the period of time that Snake and Otacon team up to create Philanthropy, their anti-Metal Gear group.
So
Kojima has never confirmed its inclusion in the Metal Gear story, but it's tricky to take what Kojima says or doesn't say about his world at face value. The game is absent from the Metal Gear Solid 4 database, a Metal Gear encyclopedia of sorts released on the PlayStation Network around the time of Metal Gear Solid 4.
They're whitewashing history.
Yeah, man. The database on Metal Gear Solid Mobile released in the same year, so its absence might just be a result of... Wait. Metal Gear... The people are still making N-Gage games?
In like
when
2007?
Solid 4 came out? I don't... That doesn't sound right.
Turkey.
Outside of the above reasoning for why it might not be canon, the story does fit between Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2, correct? I haven't played the game personally due to its platform limitations, but it plays as a kidnapped Snake in a virtual simulation, one that Otacon is forced to pull him from with his hacking abilities.
Nice.
After completing the simulation, Snake's memory gets wiped with the whole incident by his captors. The game ends with a voice saying, "Let's see if Jack can do better," after explaining that Snake did not give them the data they needed.
Nice. That's great. That's really great. We've been over this. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game is Metal Gear Solid 2, just because I like the mechanics of it a lot.
You are a crazy person.
But I don't. But I don't know if I know off the top of my head which one yours is.
It's 3.
3. I don't like 3. I really miss the Soliton radar.
The Soliton radar was bullshit, and it turned the game into Radar Pac-Man.
That's why I liked it.
That's not fun.
Well.
And in fact, that's part of what I hate. And actually, I was just saying on Twitter today that I'm actually thinking about replaying 2 because I slag it off all the time, and I haven't played it quite some time.
Wow, really? You complain about a game that you haven't actually played in a long time and don't remember clearly?
I remember it clearly. I beat it like 3 times. I mean, I remember it. I just haven't played it in a minute. But
I love it. It's so fast.
Is it? I mean, the camera zoomed way the fuck in a lot of places, which is a big pain in the ass. And for as much as you love the radar, they take the radar away from you in a bunch of segments.
Only a couple times.
But they're like the segments where you need it the most, because they're like the indoor segments where you have to like sneak around inside of shit with a ton of guards.
Oh, I don't even remember. I played that game so many times. Anyway, I don't know. I remember finding Metal Gear Solid too slow. Like you're always having to change your camo and heal yourself, and I don't know.
You only have to heal yourself if you suck, Mike.
Well, I only played the game once, so I didn't master it. Whoa, some funky background stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a PS2 version, and I have the Metal Gear Legacy collection. So it's like I might just play the HD version just to refresh my memory, and also because I never played the Snake Tales stuff.
Yeah, I remember. I tried those when the PS2 collection came out. That gave you 1, 2, and 3 all together. I finally got a chance to try those. I don't remember being very impressed. I mean, you can skateboard as Raiden on the big shell, so there's that.
There is that.
Why is this Plague Knight lackey attacking me?
Metal Gear Solid Mobile was released February 14th, 2008.
That's the N-Gage one?
Yeah, that seems...
Color me
maybe I
impressed.
just... The N-Gage... Let's see here. Retail... Okay.
Real hard.
You've got to be shitting me. So the N-Gage came out in 2003. You're telling me people were still making games for that thing 5 fucking years later? Get the fuck out of here.
Get right out of town.
Just get right out of town.
You think they would have known better. Okay, this is going to be
August
tough.
2007, it was estimated that Nokia had shipped more than 2 million N-Gage game decks. The N-Gage brand name still had a poor reputation within the gaming media.
No kidding.
And among few consumers who recognized the N-Gage brand due to its weaknesses in the system's first games and the original model's limitations. Many gamers were unaware of the later QD redesign. Nokia had more than 50 games available for the system.
I vaguely recall the redesign existing. I mean, I don't think I ever saw one, because who would buy one of those things? Maybe crazy people.
In August 2007, the new N-Gage platform was finalized and released in April 2008.
Now, I have a vague recollection.
Symbian S60 smartphones.
That's what you see. What I remember is, yeah, they're making N-Gage into like a thing that you can just stick into your phone. Yeah. And thankfully, no one ever did.
Apparently not. But apparently, the Metal Gear thing is available for certain regular Verizon smartphones. WWE Aftershock for the N-Gage. Oh god.
Chaboom! We're back up here.
Alright, it's past 11, so are we...
Past 11? I'm gonna have to go to bed. Well, at this point, I've started the stage.
Convenient stopping point, or...?
Well, I need to finish the damn stage.
Alright, let's finish the damn stage, and then we'll sign off.
Again, I love Shovel Knight a lot, and I think it's an amazing game, but it has a few flaws, and one of them is that the stages are so long.
Yeah, I don't think they're not a ton longer than the games that it is paying tribute to. Though.
They are like 4 times longer than Mega Man stages.
I mean,
there's 6 checkpoints in the stage.
The later Mega Man games, lengthen the stages, but I guess I was saying just like a lot of 8-bit sort of actiony platformers in general. Some of them had. I mean, you're right. Definitely, like Mega Man 2 or 3 stages are much shorter than the stage system. But
yeah, if you get too tired, you should just go to bed because I kind of want to finish this level now that I've started it.
I'm not going to bed. I'm working on maybe the same different game. So I'll hang with you until you finish. But also, can't you just save at a checkpoint? Because I mean, that's the nice thing about the DS version. Is I feel like you can like quick save at a checkpoint.
I don't believe you can. I think that it saves automatically when you get to the end of the level. But I don't think that if I stop halfway through a level, it's going to preserve my progress. Which is kind of too bad.
It is. It's too bad. So, you know, I will say this about Metal Gear Solid 5, which again I really enjoyed. Obviously, I sunk 80 hours into it. It's weird, just talking about Metal Gear Solid 2. The thing that I did like about Metal Gear Solid 2, as limited as they were, the boss battles were pretty good. Even though the Solidus.
I've heard a lot of back and forth on that. I've heard a lot of people who do not love the boss battles.
In 2?
In 2.
Yeah, that's fine. I disagree with them on that, though. I think that the one thing that the game did well is that the problem was it didn't have enough of them. Because you fight Vamp once, you fight Fat Man.
You kind of fight Fortune.
You don't. I was just gonna say you don't really fight Fortune.
You run away from Fortune for a while.
And then nanomachines.
Are there nanomachines in like Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yeah, man. Isn't that how? Yeah. Because Raiden's blood. So I watched a bunch of. There's this guy who has a YouTube channel called Super Bunny Hop. He's like a big Konami sort of fanboy-ish, but really into Metal Gear. And he's done a bunch of like really lengthy reviews of Metal Gear games, and I watched most of them today on my second monitor at work. He reminded me that in fact, yes, there
machines are nano.
Machines. There's a thing they explained that Raiden's blood has been drained out of him completely and has been transfused with synthetic blood full of nanomachines.
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
Yep, that's the thing that happens. That's probably because you only watched the cutscenes the first time you played it.
Oh no, I watched them a whole bunch of times.
But yeah, so that's a thing. Nanomachines.
God damn it.
So yeah, and the fight with Solidus is fun with the sword, and but Metal Gear Solid 5, for as good as it is and for as much as I enjoyed it, the boss fights, there are very few of them, and Y Signaling Y says Raiden's basically a walking corpse, unless I misremember. He's a walking corpse in 4. He is definitely, well, I mean, he's basically a robot, right? Like, they replaced most of his stuff with robot parts and nanomachines. And he's got that white blood like Bishop and Aliens, sorry, which is, I mean, obviously Kojima has a giant boner for James Cameron, so that's an obvious tribute. But in 2, he is not not the walking corpse yet. He does have synthetic blood. He does have nanomachine blood. But Metal Gear Solid 5, there's only really one super compelling boss fight, and it's the fight against Quiet. Before she joins your team, you have to beat her, and it's a sniper duel.
Which the series has done a couple times.
Yeah, kidding. That's the 3rd that I can think of off the top of my head, although I never finished Peace Walker, so...
You got your Sniper's Wolf, you got your the End.
Yep, and Quiet. And it's cool, because the terrain is different in the Quiet fight than it is in either the End fight or the Sniper Wolf fight. And you can get a Sniper Wolf outfit for Quiet before the end of the game.
Sweet. Does she start speaking with a Russian accent?
Other than that, she's quiet. She doesn't talk at all.
She never talks?
I'm gonna skirt spoilers here and say that for all intents and purposes,
Not much. All right, got it.
she hums when she's sighting people. That's how you find her in the boss battle. If you point your directional microphone at her, you can hear her humming. That's one of the easy ways to find her. And then actually, when she's on your team, if you take her on missions, she hums in your fucking earpiece constantly, and it actually gets really annoying. But she's really the only compelling boss fight. All the other boss fights are against. There's this unit of special soldiers that you see very early on. So I'm not spoiling anything. People haven't played it. Very early on, you meet the Skulls unit, which is like
Skulls. Is that with a Z?
No, it's not. Thankfully, it's not with a Z. They're Skullface's elite unit, and you face them a couple of times, and they're shit. They're a terrible boss fight because they're so strong that the only tactics are to avoid them and run away. And there is one point where you must fight them, and you can't stealth them because they're damage sponges. So you have to just like load your weapons up as much as you can. Well, there's two tactics. There's two ways you can do it. One,
check it out.
Load yourself up with the most powerful weapons and armaments that you have, and just face them and fuck them up and avoid their attacks and just shoot them back. Or two, if you have quiet and you have the most powerful sniper rifle, if you can avoid being detected by them immediately, you can climb a tower that's nearby and just like lay down, and quiet will kill them for you.
Nice.
And those are the only two, which I did not do that, but I did look at sort of what the tactics were, like strategies were, and what was one person's like best way to defeat them in that sequence was just have quiet do it essentially. So
sounds like a good plan.
It's actually similar to my complaints about Arkham Knight, which is I liked Arkham Knight a lot, and overall I liked it more than Arkham City, but the boss battles in Arkham City were so much better. Like I don't know, have people just forgotten how to do compelling boss fights? That like
Kojima might have, when you can look at Metal Gear Solid 4, which is also kind of home to some really shitty boss battles.
They're better than the ones in 5, I think. And again, I think 5 is a considerably better game in almost every way. For the boss battles, the Beauty and the Beast core, as kind of lame as they were, and as much as a couple of them are just like damage sponges, they're not as lame as the ones in 5. Which is really disappointing because it's like that's one of the series' hallmarks. It's like really interesting, good, well thought out boss battles, and they're really nowhere to be found. There's the one. It's a sniper duel. They all have a sniper duel, as we discussed. And it's just and I mean, there's some cool stuff you can do as far as like experimentation and how to take dudes down. The other big problem I had with Metal Gear Solid 5 is that, and I think I mentioned this last week when I was playing it, but it's an open world, and the world is empty. There's nothing in it. Like I don't understand what the point was of making it an open world game, except to say it's an open world game. Like, the only things that are in the world are guard posts, and there's like 4 guards apiece at them, and you can fucking take them out super easily. There's nothing organic. There's one moment where you're like running around in the open world, and if you haven't unlocked a certain mission yet, if you stumble into a particular section of the map, you'll automatically start that mission, and that's pretty cool. But it only happens the one time that I saw it. And other than that, it's just empty. I mean, people bash the Arkham Knight world for being kind of empty, and I will tell you, there is a lot more shit going on in the world of Arkham Knight than there is in the Metal Gear Solid 5. And there's 2 full maps, not including Mother Base, and they're just like, they're desolate. Nothing is happening in them unless you're going on a mission. So,
well,
but again, overall, I really enjoyed it. So, I don't know. I mean, you've played them all besides that, right, Mike?
I haven't played Ground Zeroes yet, but I have it, and I'm interested in giving it a try sometime soon. I mean, you know that Metal Gear Solid 4 pissed me the hell off, and I kind of swore off the series at that point. But it sounds like they've gotten rid of a lot of the... Some of the bad story stuff that was pissing me off, so...
The story is really dumb, but it's dumb...
But it's not nearly as self-indulgent as 4's, was it?
No. Actually, the weirdest thing is, I feel like they kind of overcorrected on the story element. Like, the story of Metal Gear Solid 5 is told entirely during the opening cutscene and, like, the ending cutscene, and there is very little in between those. Like, if you come to Metal Gear for the narrative, which, Jesus Christ, I hope you don't come to Metal Gear for the narrative, but if you come to Metal Gear for the narrative, you're gonna be way disappointed by 5, because there's, like, no narrative. It's like, okay, some stuff happened, let's go, let's fight the bad guy. And, like, the bad guy is so painfully one-dimensional. Like, Skullface, you learn nothing about this guy. All you know is he's bad, he blew up Mother Base 9 years ago, and you want to kill him. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's just like, okay, let's go find the bad guy. And then, like, you find him, and you don't even know, like, you don't even know what his motivations are until the very end. Like, you face him, and when you find him, he does that classic Metal Gear.
Sounds like he's painting you.
It is. He does that classic Metal Gear thing where he sits down and just, like, monologues at you for, like, 10 minutes about, like, what his plan is and why he's doing it. And then you fight him, and then that's it. Like, it's just like, what the hell? Like, why didn't I know any of that before this moment at the very end? When, like, now I know all there is to know. Before, all I knew is that he blew me up.
And now you know that he has, like, a billion things to say that he could have said way earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, did you notice that I got a Dragon Punch recently?
I was taking stock of that. I don't have the sound turned on because it will echo weirdly.
Yeah, me neither.
But,
I'm assuming you don't actually say Shoryuken.
Yells Shoryuken or something. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna try to grab some dudes to do a spoiler cast on.
There's the checkpoint. Good. Alright, I think I'm at the boss fight.
Phantom Pain.
Oh, hold on, there's a secret over here.
Secret, like.
Alright, I made it to I've made it to Plague Knight's bedroom and I'm now jumping on his bed.
Can you just go to sleep and, like, not finish the game?
That would be totally awesome, but
if it's your bed anyways, you just feel like, alright.
Not a very interesting room aside from this cabinet full of Plague Knight masks. Someone pointed out that one of the Plague Knight masks in the cabinet is much bigger than the others, and that's because that's what his sprite looks like when you fight him as an enemy boss. His mask is proportionally longer.
Yeah.
Seems to have some kind of rat in a cage. Maybe it's named Billy Corgan.
Despite all its rage.
Alright, well this is cool. I think it's time to go and fight Shovel Knight!
Shovel Knight? Do we know it's Shovel Knight? Or
we don't know that yet, but it's Shovel Knight. You'll see in a couple seconds.
Good to know.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the exact same dialogue that you get when you play as Shovel Knight. Of course, he murdered me because I had one half heart left when I started this fight. I think this is going to be a bit tricky. Alright, let's go. I'm not using my... I need to go back to using my enemy centrifuge.
Cover your flying sacks of money, Mike.
Oh, I totally did.
Good. Glad.
Man, I'm low on health compared to... Oh, he's swapping potions. What? He's got all his health back. Use this Purple King Chalice. This is tricky because my centrifuges aren't working because the ground is explodable, so my bombs are exploding the floor all the time. Although I am doing a lot of damage to them. I hope he doesn't have a lot of those health refilling chalices. This whole snow thing is working out pretty well for me, I gotta say.
It seems like it.
Can I get his money? Aw. Ouch. Interesting. I don't want to spoil what's happening for you. It's not that amazing, but that's pretty cute, I gotta say. Man, I could watch the details on the animation during the alchemy lab whenever you get a new essence. They are Robertson-esque.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I have enough coins to unlock the next level of research. I'll have a look at what's in the store, and then we can call the stream.
Sounds good.
Alright, so what can we get here? Drops bounding bombs at your feet. Okay. Boomerangs back and forth. That sounds kind of fun. Sparkler powder. Pulses damaging sparks, but the case is harmless. Okay. Impact fuse explodes on contact. I thought they already exploded on contact. Spin burst. Oh, I think I want this. I think this is the screw attack. Check it
Who
out
does this
here.
guy think he is? Samus Aran?
Samus
Or
Aran.
Aaron? I was just gonna say. I
Oh
don't-
yes,
Never sure.
excellent. I am digging this.
I like that I can hear your controller creaking.
Sorry.
As you.
This is actually a somewhat recent-ish. It's one of the 360 controllers with the transformable D-pad. It's actually more recent than some I
I'm
have.
surprised you're not using a D-pad then.
It still sucks.
But it's less shitty.
Sure, but it's still pretty shitty. Yeah, well, I guess that will be it for now. Let's go back to the title screen, save my progress.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody.
And we're going to turn it off. So thank you folks for hanging out and watching us stream Plague of Shadows, especially since I took forever to finish that last level. We'll be back next week for more excitement. Last week will be the 30th of September, so I don't know if we're going to get into creepy stuff or if it's still too soon.
It's still, well, I don't know. We'll make a game time. It depends on who's going to be here next week. That's the key to it all.